Hi, LPS Desert Rose here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to be discussing the G7 pets, my opinions on them, and opinions I have heard just as blanket opinions that a lot of people share. G7, I think, was a big thing for the LPS community, especially maybe older collectors like me, to see older model like molds released again, per se like this peacock over here. Just maybe seeing Littlest Pet Shop return to some of its what I call former glory. So with the basic fun pets, I notice people either share the opinion of they outright dislike them, or they're 50-50 like me, or they absolutely love them, and other people are just whiny brats. So let's start off, I guess, with the seagull. So before I get into the picture I have behind me, I kind of wanted to mention a lot of, like, a big blanket complaint people have about the basic fun pets, whether they like them, hate them, or like I mentioned, are 50-50 about them. This is something everyone seems to share an opinion on that's kind of similar. So let's try and zoom in on her eyes. So I don't know if you can see it, on her left eye, some of her eyelash got painted off onto the face. So her eyes are a bit asymmetrical in that regard, but it's the fact that people are complaining about the lack of consistency with the pet shops that Basic Fun is releasing. She came from one of the Wave 2 blind boxes, and I've seen the most consistency complaints with those. I get that those are their cheapest pets, and the prices, honestly, yeah, they're good, but the way Basic Fun has been replying to people, I'll go over that later, just, they claim these are inspected before they leave. And I've seen, she also has, oh gosh, I don't know if I can zoom in. She's got two nostrils, but I don't know if you can see that little dark spot on her beak that's random, that's not even one of her nostrils. So, she's got a couple small paint discrepancies. I actually got lucky and got one of the better seagulls from these batches. She has the nice glossy eyes, but in terms of consistency, there have been productions of her and other blind box pets that have grainy eyes, almost printed on instead of painted. Just that whole shebang, and there's been a lot of paint issues with this and many other pets, especially, like I said, with the blind boxes. I saw someone get one of her where her eye was completely painted off the side, whereas mine is just like a little eyeliner issue. So I am grateful for the pet I got, and I was lucky in the one I got, but many others have not been that lucky. So I also wanted to go over something else. The little symbols, hence why I have this amazing helpful graph up. So let me pull two pets from my collection. Alright, the gang is all here, mostly. Hey, you come back. Okay. So, if you look at the card that came with the seal, you notice they have changed the teardrop design to mean hungriest, whereas hungriest used to be this little cookie bite thing, and sporty used to have the teardrop one. Here are two sporty pets. I guess this now means they are hungriest pets. So, I personally don't understand why Basic Fun had to change the symbol lore. Sure, change their eyes, but why did you need to change the symbol lore? It's a little annoying and confusing. Moving on to a pet they made that actually kept the symbol the same. So I know if anyone saw my review on the Sam's Club exclusive playset, they know that this peacock is one of the exclusives to the Sam's Club Deluxe House set. And she also looks like a redesign of an older pet, I'm not sure the gen, of the peacock standing beside her. They both have the little diamond eyes and freckles, and their sign, according to this collector's card, still means fanciest, which is consistent with the old one. So, like I said, I'm confused. Why did they do that? And this is a chance to bring up another point that I've seen people complain about, and I want to know your guys' opinions. I personally am not going to have much comment on this because my mascot is flaming orange. Like, I could argue there's orange cats, but she's like Phoenix flaming orange. So let me get rid of this little eye chart. People have complained that the G7 pets are too bright. And maybe I should pull up another pet for an example, actually. Alright. Me and this cat right here are older gen pets. Have you guessed what people might be per se complaining about yet? If you guessed color, you are correct. And in terms of symbols, once more, the cat on the far left, the purple one with the heart ears, their symbol supposedly matches the old one of being the friendliest. Like I said, super confused on that. Not thrilled. Anyways, if you guessed color, you are correct. People complain that the current generation of pets are too bright, that there's not a good mix of any natural colored ones. They're all just obscenely washed out, just bright, just some being so bright it's an eyesore. People have complained about that. I want to know your thoughts on it, if you think that there is not enough natural colored pets, because I kind of have to agree with people saying that there is too many bright colored ones. It is majority, at least 95% of what I've seen, and even the ones that are kind of natural, like normal-ish colored, have little obscene designs on them, and I can probably bring up one of those in a minute. Like I said though, the one next to me is one of the older gen pets, which I also believe these G7 ones are based off of this sitting cat mold. This is another consistency issue. I don't know if, I know I mentioned it in my last video. Another consistency issue with Basic Fun I noticed is that their stock photos are complete lies. It seems like they are making one nice one to model and then just mass producing something that is not like what they're advertising. And I find that really unfortunate. I'd be a lot less disappointed with the cat I got in the Sam's Club set if they just were truthful about their advertising, you know? And it's weird because the blind box counterpart with it has eyes that it should have had. So like, it was completely feasible for them. I really don't understand that. So consistency issues so far that we've brought up. My complaint on the symbols, bright colors, paint issues. I'm actually going to read an email right now that Basic Fun keeps sending people, kind of a copy-paste email, if I can find it. That also kind of makes me mad about the G7 pets. Alright, and this email reads as follows. Let's see. Hi there, thank you so much for sending over your thoughts and feedback on our $3.99 surprise collectible figures. Even though these figures are at our lowest price point, we are still able to provide a quality figure with lots of different deco ops and the feature of a bobbling head in many different animal styles. A lot of times people think that the pet is painted incorrectly, but it's just because the paint is done by hand and sometimes it overflows. So I always double check mine in the office to see if they're all a little slightly different, and they are, and that's what makes them unique and cool. I asked the product manager about this. She worked on the very original LPS at Hasbro years ago. She is an expert, and she said that there are 3 important traits to LPS: the sculpt, the eyes, and the LPS on the bottom. Let me go to part 2. Do not worry, all of our littlest pet shops are inspected and pass all toy safety quality testing before shipping to retailers who also require specific testing. Blah 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 blah. Thank you so much for blah 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 blah. So I want to bring over a couple things since this is a copy-paste email. They seem to be sending everyone that emails them about complaints having to do with the collectibles. It's the fact that the emails sound a little condescending. In terms of the wording, a lot of times people think that the pet is painted incorrectly, and you know, their emails just sound a little condescending. Like, how many paint errors do you see on older Gen LPS, even when they made those goofy Gen 4, Gen 5 ones? How many paint errors have you actually seen on older model LPS? Be honest. I get that mistakes happen, but oh gosh, I wish I could pull up some of the just awful paint jobs I've seen. Oh wait, I've got one. Okay, so funny enough, the one in front of me does have this one, my original. Sorry, I'm back. I don't know if you heard the little crying. That was, I am a mom. So, funny enough, this one does have a bit of a paint mess up, but that is not factory. I bought her the year she came out in store myself when I was a kid, so she's been through quite a bit. That is my fault. The mouth, that is my fault, and it is very unfortunate. So anyways, I have the Chili's does another symbol. They kind of kept the same, except they seem to have turned it into a flower. Weird. So this one's a lot more muted, and this is another, you know, bright pet of theirs. So my muted, more like original colored one, you can see she's got this nice like airbrushed color on her. Her paint job is really nice here. She does have are these the printed on eyes? She does have printed on eyes. She was never quite one of my favorites because I don't care for the side glancing LPS. So this one's cute from a face view, yeah. Brightly colored, cute, has a little. A lot of people complain about this, so they've removed it with acetone. Anyways. Yeah. I've been told not to complain about it because it's technically not on her face, but it is what it is. Moving on. Don't ask me why I picked a seal for this example. You know, seals IRL I think are bigger than possums. Okay, this possum is a G7 one, and this is my least favorite. I think this one is an abomination. For all the things I've said in this video, Basic Fun is probably never gonna let me be a little LPS ambassador or anything. But I gotta be honest, I can't lie about this. The paint job on this pet is surprisingly fine, but just the size in this pet is insane. Like, the head is huge. My other complaint is just size inconsistencies. To a lot of other pets, this possum specifically is humongous. And in terms of symbols, somehow it's hungriest as well, and I'm not sure how this correlates to teardrop at all. Like, that is a flower. And I am sorry, but this one is an abomination. If anyone yet again saw my Sam's Club house review, this was one of the ones in the set, but this is not one of these Sam's Club exclusives. This is with any of the versions of this house you buy off Amazon, etc. So mine has a different colored head from the body. That is another inconsistency people have complained about. So my personal opinion on the inconsistencies is they claim it's just what makes the pets unique and cute, and a lot of people have just pointed out that even though these are legit pets, they look worse than fakes. And honestly, with the inconsistencies they have, if I were ever to resell any of these pets, like in the future, if they ever become, or like the Sam's Club ones, if I were ever to sell those, I just feel like it lowers their value because no one really wants a marred up pet, especially when they're in abundance. I don't know if anyone saw the thing that happened a few years ago with the Nintendo amiibos, like the Princess Peach defect amiibo with like the missing legs. Okay, so people paid big bucks for that because that was rare. These defects are not rare, they're on over like 90% of the pets. Uniquely defective. But I also don't know what this is. So the new sportiest symbol is this lightning bolt. They've kind of just added a new symbol, and I think the lightning bolt is ugly and out of place, as do a lot of people. Also, there is mighty debate just in general with the LPS, what is a hamster, what is a guinea pig, and what is a mouse, because as far as I'm concerned, these are both mice. And I thought these were guinea pigs, but this might be I swear this is a long hair guinea pig, but people say these might both be hamsters. And I don't know what this is. I thought this was a hamster. So, someone clarify, I guess. This is one of my personal favorites, one I purposely sought out from the blind boxes. Another Fanciest Pet, and she is bright colored, but she is cute. She reminds me a lot of this Kmart exclusive one. If you notice, the new mold though is smaller. This is technically the only panda I have, but if you notice, the new gen one is smaller. I don't know if they're all like that. I did not get to collect the panda from the first wave. But yeah, just the little symbols at the top of the head, the eye shapes and stuff. Yeah, and you know, yet again, I think I already said this, the new gen one is bright colored. But I don't think that's a bad thing, but it is like every one of them. So this one's like the size of me, and I'm not sure what it is. I thought it was like an iguana. Someone told me it's not. It's a lizard of some sort. So it's got a little lightning bolt somewhere on it. It's supposed to be sportiest. And yet again, it's another brightly colored one. I'm like, okay, so this one's also orange. You think I'm brightly colored, possibly. Look at just... I don't know, dude. Like, it's just... Personally, I agree. There's just too many bright colored pets. Moving on, as this one doesn't really have any complaints either. Like I said, I got lucky a lot with a lot of my G7 pets. I don't have a collector's card for this one. I actually got him from someone who bought the set and only wanted like one pet out of it. So, as you can see, he's not standing up because he's a pain to stand up. And the seagull's fine to stand up. I guess the best thing I can say about this pet is I lost train of thought. The best thing I can say about this pet, oh, there we go, is that it is consistent in size with other birds. Like, the seagull's also consistent in size, unlike the possum, compared with other similar counterparts. But this is actually based off a G2 rooster, and I don't remember the name of it, or not name, the number, but it had a glittery comb. This one is a redesign off that. So the original, I think, had like green and blue kind of wings. This one has... It might be better if I just pull up the number. So this G7 pet, as far as I'm concerned, is based off of Rooster 2358, and it had a glitter comb and kind of a multicolored tail and wings. But for the most part, the color palettes are similar. This one just looks like a sick version of it though, in my opinion. It's this bright pasty yellow. I know my phone probably isn't picking it up really well, but that one is actually darker. So this one, oh my god, he stood up. Is just kind of overall pasty. Half the time he does not stand up. He's got some like feet issues. If you look at the side of his comb, he's got a little sparkle, which, does that make him one of the fanciest pets? Again, I didn't get a card with him or anything, but if we're going by body markings, I'm assuming he's a fanciest pet. I kind of just wish they kept it to the eyes, you know? So, let me see if I can zoom in. This one did have some minor paint issues per se on the wings, but it's not a big deal. Don't ask me why. I was just really off-put by this paint's like shiny acrylic cheap kind of job, and the fact that his head just squishes in. He was my first G7 pet, and that was kind of my introduction to what the quality would possibly be of these pets. And this wasn't one of the blind box pets, you know, this was one of these set pets. And I'm not sure if they're gonna argue that their sets are priced cheaper too. I get that our economy has changed over the years, and this is a way to possibly get, you know, Littlest Pet Shops to everyone affordably. But I don't know. I can't say much for this pet other than, again, people complained about the color scheme. But just that their markings seem so just oddly placed. I didn't know that we were making like My Little Pony cutie marks now. So, I think the capybara is kind of cute. Yet again, a weird size kind of thing going on. I know capybaras are big. You know, they're probably comparable. I know they're comparable to house cats. They're probably bigger than house cats. I don't know. Maybe it's the head. It's probably the head. It's just probably not like pets I've seen. But yeah, this one actually got a lot of complaints. But again, the paint job is fine on this one. Just a little funny looking. All in all, those are the G7 pets I currently have. Like I said, I am 50-50. I do wish there were more average colored pets. Not Mountain Dew nuclear colored pets for each one. Like, even the Pomeranian is some kind of like orangey color. She's a little more orange than me actually, and that's kind of unsettling. And like I said, I also find Basic Fun's emails to be a little condescending, and I don't believe that they actually inspect most of these before they go out. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on the colors, how you feel about the sizes between molds, just kind of all the topics I went over. I'm really curious to know how people felt about the symbol changes, because honestly, that's what I've been the most upset about. So I'm gonna end this video here. Thanks for watching. Sorry if my thoughts are all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed this.